All right, so the up until very recently middleweight champion of the world who lost a razor-close fight, a split decision in Toronto, Canada against Dricus Du Plessis. I am, of course, talking about the one and only Sean Strickland. No nickname needed. He is demanding a rematch. He wants another title fight against Dricus Du Plessis. He feels he was robbed by the judges and he can't understand why he is not getting an immediate rematch when other champions have. So, first of all, let's talk about the tweet. He says, I don't care about fight politics or a belt, but it makes me laugh that they give Izzy a rematch to Alex after getting slept. I lost a close decision that Dana himself thought I won. Everybody did. The stats did. This needs to be run back. And look, listen, it was a very close fight. It was a split decision. And a lot of people thought that Sean Strickland deserved to be the victor of that fight. I don't. I thought Dricus was more aggressive. I thought he landed the bigger shots and he did the most damage. That is what they judge fights on. But regardless of that, my opinion doesn't matter. Should the fight be run back? Because he said, and he's right in pointing out, Israel Adesanya got one. He got knocked out. He got slept off Alex Pereira and then got an immediate rematch. Well, sadly for Sean, the reason that happened is that is what tends to happen if you look at the history books. Anytime you have a dominant champion that goes out there and defends the belt a number of times, right? Number one, they become a big star. They become a big attraction, a massive pay-per-view draw. And there's a lot of people invested in their journey. And if they get beaten, often it's seen as an upset. It's seen as some shocking event. So they run it back, okay? Got to remember, Israel Adesanya had defended the belt, 5 or 6 times, something like that. So he was clearly the best guy by far, right? There was no discussion about it. He was going through the entire division. Sure, Sean went out there, shocked the world, great performance, dropped him in the first round and then beat him down over 5 rounds. Fantastic performance. Then he gets to go against Dricus Du Plessis, okay? And he lost, okay? Simple as that. He lost in his first title defense, okay? In a very close fight, and he did a good job. He certainly gave Dricus Du Plessis the toughest fight of his career. Remember, Dricus stopping everybody. Darren Till, Derek Brunson, put a beat down on Robert Whittaker. Sean Strickland took him to the absolute limit, fought in tooth and nail, nipple to nipple, dick to dick, as Sean says. So he did himself proud, but he didn't win the fight. I mean, if you look at it, let's look through history. Anderson Silva, another middleweight champion, defended the belt so many times and some unbelievable performances. That's why one of my fondest memories in the octagon was sharing an octagon with Anderson Silva. I was able to get the win, but still, congrats to Anderson Silva. What a career, what a legend. But when he got knocked out against Chris Weidman, what happened? He got an immediate rematch, okay? Let's remember, against Chris Weidman, the man was messing around. He was drinking his own Kool-Aid. Oh, yeah! As the Americans say, he was full of himself. He got a little too high on his ability, messed around, ate a shot, and then did this, kind of mocking him. And then, boom, Weidman follows up with another one, puts him to sleep. So they did an immediate rematch. And then he snaps his leg. I mean, poor old Anderson Silva, the poor guy. I was there. I was ringside for that fight, and I'll never forget Anderson Silva coming by, led on a stretcher, howling his head off in absolute agony, okay? So, immediate rematches for dominant champions, they are a long-established thing. Remember, Matt Serra, Georges St-Pierre. Matt Serra shot the world, knocked him out. Immediate rematch. That went down at UFC 83, Montreal, Canada. I made my middleweight debut on that fight card, by the way. So, as I say, I could go on all day. There's so many examples. Do you want some more? Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards, right? Leon shocks the world, knocks him out with a head kick. What happens? Well, he was a dominant champion. They gave him a rematch, and Leon closed the book on that one. He shut him down. Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena, right? There is a lot of examples that I can't think of right now, but trust me, look it up. Dominant champions get beat, they get an immediate rematch, which, to be honest, is kind of messed up, isn't it? It's just the way it goes. I'm not complaining, but think about it like this. So you're a young up-and-coming fighter, like a Sean Strickland. You become the champion. You shock the world. You defy the odds. You become the champ. And then you got to beat the bastard again. It's kind of sad, isn't it? It's kind of messed up for that person involved because you haven't got to beat the champion once. You've got to beat him twice. And that's tough. But this is just the world that we live in. So, unfortunately for Sean, he's going to have to do some more work. He's going to have to fight somebody else, and I don't know who that's going to be. Potentially, Brendan Allen needs an opponent. Marvin Vettori just pulled out. Brendan Allen, Sean Strickland fought before. Sean Strickland won that fight. They don't like each other. If he gets a win over number 6 Brendan Allen, you never know. Maybe he runs it back with Jared Cannonier. He's ranked number 4, something like that. If he can beat Jared Cannonier, get revenge for that loss because he feels he was robbed. A lot of people thought that Sean Strickland won that fight again, Then he might fight the winner of Dricus and Israel Adesanya. Don't know when that's going to go down, but it's going to be soon. Anyway, Sean went on to say this. He said, man, I don't want to pull this card, but when does the champ ever lose a close fight? When you're in Canada with a bunch of dirty effing leftists, okay? What he's talking about here, and I'm not talking about the Canada thing and the leftist and all the rest of it. That's Sean's whole vibe. But Canada's a bit mental in it these days. And what he's talking about there is the old overused cliche is you can't just win a fight against the champ. You got to beat the champ. You got to take that belt, okay? Which sadly is absolute nonsense. A lot of people do say it. A lot of people do say it. A lot of people did think that Sean Strickland won against Dricus Du Plessis, right? Dana White did say that himself.
I had it 2-2 going into the last round, and I thought Strickland won the last round.
But the way they score a fight, and I don't need to tell you this, is that it's maths.
2 + 2 is 4, -1, that's 3 quick maths.
They add it up. They have judges. They score every round on a 10-point must system. Somebody gets 10, somebody gets less. Maybe both people get 10. They do that for 5 rounds, and then at the end of it, they add it up, and whoever has the highest score, the more points, they become the champion. They don't go, well, hold on a minute, it's 48-47. It was close, but that guy's the champ. Give it to the champ. He's the champ. It was close. That's just not the world we live in. That's not how it works. So when people say that, I do kind of roll my one eye sometimes. It's like, come on, that's not how it works. So unfortunately for Sean Strickland, I get it. He's annoyed. He has been a bit quiet lately, not on Twitter. He's been doing his usual thing, talking absolute madness on Twitter. But when it comes to the fight, he has been kind of quiet. Now maybe he's watched it back again. Maybe he's kind of pissed off. He's seen the division move along without him. I mean, look, listen, the man did beat Israel Adesanya, right? Israel Adesanya didn't get the immediate rematch because he was injured. That's why he fought Dricus Du Plessis. And fair play to Sean for taking that fight against Dricus. A very, very tough opponent that probably wouldn't have given him the payday that a rematch with Izzy would have, okay? But it's still there. He's still a young man. I think he's 31 or 33. So he's still got a lot of juice left in his career. But where does he go from here? I just want to end this video by saying spare a thought for Marlon Chito Vera. Of course, Chito went out there last week, fought like a warrior, didn't get the job done against Sugar Sean O'Malley. O'Malley was phenomenal, but I think a lot of people were inspired by the heart, the courage, the determination, and just the toughness of Chito Vera. The reason I bring this up is because when he gets home from Miami in an unsuccessful world title fight, he gets home and he sees that he's been robbed. He's been burgled whilst he was away, okay? So whoever it was, they saw it. They've seen the countdown shows. They saw him on TV, and they're like, he's not there. The whole family's there. The wife is there, the kids are there, Cheeto's there. Let's go and rob the gaff, right? And that is just utterly disgusting. Sadly, it is the world that we live in. But Cheeto did say, he said, listen, these are just material objects. And he's correct. He said, but they were bought through a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. And he's right. At the end of the day, they are just material objects. The bigger deal here is the feel of violation, somebody breaking into your house. But Cheeto's a tough guy. I'm sure they'll maybe get some security. They're going to have to get some cameras going forward. But what a bloody shitty world that we live in, that somebody would do that. And we know burglaries happen every single day, and terrible crimes and tragedies happen all over the world. And it is kind of a shitty world that we live in. But still, that just, I felt for Cheeto there. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got time for today. Subscribe and ring the bell, please, if you haven't done so. What do you think about Sean Strickland? Who do you think he should fight next? And do you think he should have been given the belt? Okay, do you think Dricus should have beat the champ, okay? Should he have won that fight? Should he have kept the belt? And who should he fight next? As I say, enjoy the weekend. Taito Avasa going up against Marcin Tybura tomorrow night at the Apex. I'll be there. I'm commentating. Big fight. I love watching Taito Avasa. The man brings it every single time. Knockout power, shoeies, the walkouts, very, very entertaining. And Marcin Tybura looking to get back in the winning column after losing to Big Tom Aspinall. By the way, talking to Tom Aspinall, later today, there's going to be an interview that I did, an exclusive interview with Big Tom, where he talks about John Jones. And he says, you know what? I'm done. Forget John Jones. I'm building my own legacy. I'm focusing on me. So give it a watch. That should be dropping soon. Anyway, thank you for watching. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. See you soon.